Welcome back to Deadlines, the documentary where we observe two studios pour their blood, sweat and tears into their animation whilst the ever-present threat of not making the deadline looms above their head. Will the studios keep their spirits high or will they crumble under the pressure? But the real question is, will they make it? Unfortunately for Team Prism, member Casey is taking his leave from the studio to pursue an apprenticeship in a different field. We've decided to take the time to give him an interview. Let's hear what he says.
Right, so let's go back a little. Where did your love for animation come from?
I think my love for animation started from around just like video game animations and anime in general, just like the look of them. I think that's definitely where it started.
How do you think Casey leaving affects Prism?
They were up a member already, so the effects, the work gets divvied out.
What's your next steps?
I'm going to become a mechanic. I'm doing an apprenticeship with Suzuki, so yeah.
Good luck.
Thank you.
How do you think your group will do?
I think they'll do well, even without me, you know? It's like Chloe and Ishak do a great job, they manage the team well, and everyone else is doing their parts, you know? Cade's doing what he has to do, and everyone else as well.
What's one lesson you're going to take away from your time here?
Don't wait for the last minute, like deadlines. The last wait to a deadline when you're unprepared. Awful, awful, awful.
Any last words for your group, Prism?
Best of luck, hope it all goes well.
Not everything lasts forever. I could say the same about the previous producer of Maple Studios. To find out why this change was made, we asked the new one a few questions.
Hi Jamal.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm good.
Right. Well, why did you take over the producing role?
Well, there's a mixture of there was no other suitable option and the other people in the group just wanted me to. This leader commands a tiny bit more or is more assertive in the direction, and I think that's what caused any situation that was arising to happen. The whole producing story is actually kind of crazy because what had happened is that the original producer, Kiki, had given up the position basically to me at the exact same time the entire group was like, we need to have a new producer. So we had a funny situation where we all showed up to Craig and I was like, hey, can we talk about the producer role? And he was like, the producer role's open because Kiki transferred. And we were like, oh, that makes a lot of things simpler. Team Maple is, I don't want to say it seems like some threads are beginning to show, but there is a lack of camaraderie in a sense.
What did it change within your group?
Not to sound like I'm dissing Kiki's leadership, but it made everyone was a lot less angry and everyone got a lot more productive because Kiki's a lot more creative than me. She just comes up with ideas like every 24 seconds. So a lot more has gotten done because a lot more is actually concrete.
Throughout our interviews, the members of each studio have spoken very positively about their projects, but they might be biased for all we know. We need a neutral third party, and who better to ask than the executive director, who's part of neither studios.
What are your thoughts on each group's progress?
Both of the teams are working well. I think both teams though can push it, like the deadline is next week. That's what I need everyone to do. What I don't want is for any one of the team to feel that there's someone else that can cover my back and therefore they're taking it lightly.
Do you think both teams are taking this as seriously as they should be?
Some members are taking it seriously, other members are just, this is another school project, but it is what it is. You know, everyone has their own axe to grind.
Who talks the most?
No, there's no most. I think there's like there's like a hyper focus for certain members of the group. Once you give them like a subject, they tend to run with it. If it's a conversation about Pokemon, they will get into a 45-minute argument about what Pokemon is better, forgetting that they've got a project to do. The whole group, they've got that hyper-focused mentality that could get out of hand if it's not, okay, enough is enough, let's get back to work.
Today, Maple Studios is taking a study trip to the absolutely wonderful and beautifully botanical views of Kew Gardens. This trip was organised by the executive director for Maple Studios, with the intention that they would use it to study the different plants, though Team Present were also there, just as we are, so we can document this. Here we are, the Temperate House, one of the many locations in Kew Gardens. But we're not just here to enjoy the view, we have work to do.
What I've done is I've gotten textures from random objects such as the floor, the walls and like plant pots, for example, to use it for my final models, as I feel like this will be a better way for me to actually use the textures from real life models rather than actually just grabbing them off the internet.
You know, despite this trip being planned for Maple Studios, only a measly 3 of their members turn up. Hopefully those 3 make the most of this.
So, can you explain to us the Kew Gardens experience?
It was not what I was expecting. I was expecting more of like forest, like a big forest area. And we took a lot of pictures. I don't know if I'm gonna use those pictures because they're not even the same ones from like the area where we're gonna do, like we're doing area in China. And I don't think any of those plants are based there. Our group separated, and the other half of my group found an area where it was like Asian style buildings and stuff, so they got pictures of that as well, so that's good.
So that helped.
Yeah.
And how many people were in your group?
I think three. I was like 3 or 4. 3. Yeah.
How many are in your group altogether?
I think we started off with 6. Was it 6 that we started off? But now we're down to 4 people. So
Oh wow. How are you finding that?
Interesting. We have to like now figure out who's doing what because we have to like change everything because we've all had our own roles, but now we have to like
Spread out again.
yeah.
Yeah.
The Kew Gardens trip was something alright. Basically, Group B had organised this trip to Kew Gardens to get photos for their project. But on the day, only 2 people in their group showed up.
It was free!
3 people showed up, and the person that organised the trip didn't even show up. So we was there, we basically missed out work, which I don't really mind, but at the same time it's gotta be done, you know. A lot of the places are closed. That giant Chinese temple, I forgot its name, it was closed. We had to walk through mud for about 5 minutes. Yeah, and we got there and it's like, shit, it's closed, sorry.
Did it help your group in any way?
No, absolutely not. There was only one thing that helped us. We basically got lost. We stumbled around a bit. We found this place and there was this like Japanese house, old Japanese house. That was the only useful thing. But then again, it's like our place is based on the seaside, so some of the houses aren't gonna look the same.
And all your group attended?
Or, well, yeah. You know, it was. I think we was missing a few, but like the
Majority.
telltale few, you know.
With that, Deadlines comes to a close, with the end still a fair ways away. If the team pushes forth and makes it through, is of course still up to them.